Listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Julia's already laughing.
Because you already messed up.
Not really. No one's going to know that. If they watch the replay, they're not going to know. Julia just said before you went live, make sure you turn the mics on because she had a dream that I actually forgot to do that.
It's happened plenty of times if you watch the show.
It has happened a couple times, whatever. We were talking about it just now. We were on Instagram Live. And, you know, as we do before the show starts, sometimes we go on Instagram Live, talk to the fans and see what they got going on before we hit the button here. And then, what
was that?
No, what I just said was we don't have a producer, so if things happen, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
Just like we had Terry Collins on last year, we had to roll with the punches.
Oh yeah, no, that was a mess, but it worked out well. But if anyone just saw that, there was like a dramatic countdown of 30 seconds, and I genuinely thought like, oh wow, new intro. This is so cool. And then he was like, oh fuck, no
new intro. It's just same Darren fucking up. So so clearly there's a lot to talk about because we don't do an off-season show. That's not our thing. Once the season's over, we kind of exhale. I remember on the last show sheet, gigantic, you can see from here, it just said fuck this shit, because we're like, how did the Mets win over 100 games, play 3 wild card postseason games?
Why are you reminding me?
And that was it.
I blacked it out.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying we don't talk about the offseason that much. It's not our thing. We leave it to other podcasts like, you know, Mets Pod or Mets Up or whoever else wants to do the weekly content. It's not really our thing, but it is our thing to catch up on what we can and then get ready for the new season. So
yes.
You were not going to spring training, unfortunately, right?
I am not. I wish I say this every year. I will go back eventually. I have a different, unique work situation going on right now.
You do.
That is preventing me from doing any imminent travel.
Still dog related.
Yes. I'll give the quick spiel for those who don't know, who would know. I am actually closing down my dog walking business on April 1st by my own choice because I got a job at a senior dog sanctuary, which is a dream come true for me. So I am doing that instead, but the hours are bananas and it is 7 days a week. And I need to take off a week in April to go to my brother's wedding in North Carolina. But
you're happy about it.
Oh, I love it. But taking off more time to go to spring training was just kind of pushing it because I just started.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to make sure we were still friends because I haven't seen you lately.
No one has seen me.
I went to Katie's house a couple times. You weren't there. You didn't come over.
To clarify, I live at Katie's house.
You did not come over for the Super Bowl to make sure we're still friends.
No, we're definitely still friends. No one has seen me. It's 7 days a week. I work 6:30 in the morning to 10:30 in the morning, and then again from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So the hours are bonkers.
You're busy.
7 days a week. Yeah.
So this is season 7, episode 1. I was running the numbers during the off season, and you're now the longest tenured co-host of Orange and Blue Thing besides myself.
And probably
we're both
I probably also have like the worst like attendance in terms of being on time as any other.
That's fine.
But I'm here. I've been here more than anyone else.
Season 7. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm the host or we're co-hosts. So like,
wow, thanks. I totally think you're the host.
No, but I'm not the host. We're hosts. We host together, co-host. Even though your name is bigger on the table.
Never forget that one time where the technical difficulties, the Terry Collins day, where like you were like, okay, talk for a few minutes, and I was like, you're the host.
You weren't sure what to do with your hands. So I put this up a couple days ago, but before we get started, I want to tell people to share the show as normal. We're going to give away gift cards for the Seven Lines website, which is good for pretty much anything you see on there, road games included. Home games are still sold on the Mets website. So Mets.com/the Seven Line Army if you want to come to any of the games. We're doing it a little bit different this year. We put up all games at the same time for the month of May. So April's already sold out. May, if you go to the site now, you can select any of the games or buy like all of them. Then you only have to pay once for like the processing fee or whatever they call it, convenience fee.
Yeah.
So yeah, go to Mets.com/the Seven Line Army if you want to pick up some home game tickets. But yeah, share the show. Each week we pick one person from Facebook, one person from Twitter, and then next week we'll announce who the winner is and you get to go shop for free. So I put on Twitter the other day what they thought was the biggest story of the off season.
Okay.
If you had to pick one, if it had to be like good or bad, what do you think the biggest story was?
Well, I think what got the most attention was probably the not signing of Carlos Correa, just because of the pure chaotic nature of the whole thing. And I just want to say, I called from the second that they said they were signing Correa. I'm like, the same exact thing that happens to the Giants is going to happen to the Mets. Like, something that's a doctor saw on a physical is not just going to disappear from another doctor's physical, which apparently they use the same doctor. That's what I heard. Fact checker is your first assignment of the season.
Why are you gonna get a different result?
Yeah, but that's like, why wouldn't you at least go to a different doctor? Whatever. But that's what I remember the most. I mean, obviously getting Verlander was big. DeGrom leaving, I guess, also. DeGrom leaving has to be bigger. I blacked that out. I was in New Zealand when that happened, so to me, it never really happened.
We're on the same group chat, so I think we both found out the Correa news at the same time, right?
Probably.
Tara
yes.
wakes up a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Tara works for News 12.
Yeah.
Shout out News 12. I love News 12.
Love News 12.
And I was on News 12 a couple times this offseason.
Oh, yes, you were. You looked like Clark Kent.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I looked. I wore my glasses. I didn't wear a hat.
You looked like a real human.
Anyway, another story, not baseball related, but yeah. So we found out together, and then it was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Kelly wakes up. And she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you on your phone?" And I gave her, or maybe it was 4 a.m, whatever it was, West Coast time. Maybe it was around 3 a.m. But yeah, I think that the way that DeGrom went out, whenever he does come back to Citi Field, what do you think the reception is going to be?
It's New York, and people are going to boo him because that's just what it is. Some people will clap. I think it will be very 50-50, but I think, I don't know what the right opinion to have on this is, but like, DeGrom's personality, we can only just assume it's his personality, is that he is not like he's not like Pete Alonso, who's gonna like, be rah, go Mets, like whatever.
He's always been very dry. And
yes, he goes to work, he does his job, he goes home,
which
and
is
that's fine. He does his job better than anybody else on the planet, so it's fine. But I think it left a sour taste in people's mouths to, I don't know. I don't think anyone really 100% expected him to stay, but it's the fact that it took him so long to like make a statement.
It was like
thanking
a month.
Mets fans.
Yeah.
Which is like, not that we're so entitled, we deserve, but like we do. Like we made you a king in this city. You don't owe us you staying. It's like you don't owe us your life financial decision, but you do owe us like a timely thank you or appreciated my time here. I understand you guys are going to be emotional about this, and that means something to me.
Right.
I don't know. So
my thing is, the players are nothing without the fans.
Yeah.
And clearly they get paid from the owners, but the owners get that money from us.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, to them it's a job. To a lot of us, it's like a lifestyle. Like being a Mets fan for some people is like their identity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they love the Mets so much. They know it's entertainment. They know these guys are working. It's a job to be on the team. And sometimes you kind of try to forget, like, all right, we work 9 to 5,
right,
and we go there to spend our money. And these guys are getting paid crazy amounts of money to play baseball.
Like, it's not even like, and maybe I'm, rose-colored glasses, I'm forgetting something here, but like, Jacob DeGrom was not even a player who had any kind of controversy around him while he was here that he could be like, oh, thank God I'm the fuck out of there. Like Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, like they had like some controversies around them. There were times where like it was tough to be a New York Met for them, but like no matter what DeGrom was going through, injury-wise, whatever, like he was treated like royalty here.
Yeah.
So I can't understand like there. And again, I think it's just his personality. I think he's just a little more to himself, and that's fine. It is what it is. But this is New York. New Yorkers are emotional, and you left, 2 didn't do a good job of making people feel like you recognize that people are going to be sad over this, and that means something to you. It kind of came off as like, okay, well, on to the next. And you know what? I wish him well. I don't want to see him essentially have what happened towards the end of David Wright's career, which was just never really came back from a bad injury. I saw his first day of camp, they shut him down out of precaution. It wasn't his choice. That doesn't make me happy to see. I don't want to see that happen to him, but it's also just like,
it doesn't make me happy.
I'm kind of relieved it's not our problem.
Exactly. I was going to say that too. Like you can kind of just see that and be like, well, at least it's not us.
Yeah.
At least it's not important. At least right now going through this.
Having said that, love Max Scherzer, psyched we have Verlander, but like, again, we're putting, well, not all of our eggs, because we also got a new unicorn, but we're putting a lot of our eggs in the baskets of aging pitchers. So I also am not going to be, I don't want to jinx anything, talking shit about DeGrom, and then Lord knows what's going to happen to Scherzer and Verlander. So I wish everybody good health and happiness.
Yeah. I mean, it is like a little too, it's kind of an old story now, but we haven't seen each other, so we're talking about it. Yes. But the whole thing with DeGrom, like I wrote this on Twitter as well. Like, I don't fault any player for getting as much money when they can,
either.
because who knows? Like their arm is a ticking time bomb.
Yes.
So if he can get more and go to Texas, fine, so be it. You know,
Absolutely.
it's his right and his choice, and that's, you know, a lot of the guys. You're not going to have a Wilmer Flores on every team,
Right.
you know, where like they're distraught at the thought of being in someone
And
else's team's
not
uniform.
to be
You know what I mean?
painfully on brand, but like David Wright was not the norm. He was the exception in that he knew he could have made more money somewhere else, but he wanted to be here. That's not, it's wonderful. It's why we all love him, but that's not the normal mentality of.
Right. Well, the
of
whole
an
thing
athlete.
too, like which was such a joke, was at his introductory press conference. Like, the reason why he went to Texas, because
Yeah.
he wanted like the best chance to win a World
Yeah,
Series.
he
I'm like,
was like, I saw a chance for a winning team. I
Right.
was like,
I'm like, give me a fucking break.
bro.
I wrote something too. I was like, you realize you went to Arlington, not Houston, right?
And that's literally, he made those comments, and I think it was like the next day Steve Cohen signed Justin Verlander. I was like, I'll die for you.
So we're jumping ahead now because actually this is a good segue. You just said the name David Wright. So
Yes.
I personally don't give two fucks about the World Baseball Classic.
Okay. don't really
Me, I care. Me as a baseball fan, I want to watch the Mets play, and I want the Mets to win a World Series. And
Sure.
granted, not everyone feels that way. And I was talking to Richie about it, and he's, you know, he said, well, maybe it's like more because, you know, we cheer for a lot of the guys on the team that may be from America, and a lot of the
Right.
guys who are Latin feel differently. It's like country over
Yes,
team. You know what I mean?
agree. I understand.
And like, I can't relate to that because I don't follow any other sports really. Like I don't
Mhm.
watch soccer. I'm not really involved in stuff
Right.
like that. So, you know, for me, it's like Mets or nothing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But how do you feel? Like, I was thinking just David Wright, because you can't forget about the
Captain
Captain
America.
America, you know?
Yeah, I see it both ways. I think I'm kind of the same, and just like I don't really care who wins. I don't have too strong of a rooting interest. I'll watch if it's on and it's convenient for me, but like
More
watch-
so to see the Mets play though.
yes,
Like
exactly.
you'll watch because you want to see
I want
like
to see
Pete
Pete Alonso's
Alonso.
in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually have a friend who made the roster for Team Italy, so I'm very
That's
excited
cool.
for him. Congrats to Nick. I will probably, if he's pitching, I'll have to watch. But other than that, I think it's kind of like the Olympics in a way, in that like it matters, but it's. I think, was it Brandon Nimmo who said he's not going to play
He's not doing
because he doesn't want to get
right,
hurt? 'cause
right.
he
I
just signed a
wrote it
contract?
here if you want to see rattle off who is playing for a
Oh,
second while I look this
Thank
up.
you. Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Brooks Rally. Is that how you say it? I need to learn how to say the new players' names. All I know is Brooks. Adam Ottavino, Francisco Lindor, Edwin Diaz, Michael Perez, Eduardo Escobar, Omar I have to learn these names, and I don't want to butcher them because I know they're like Narvaez. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
All right, sure. And Jose Quintana. So yeah, I think Brandon Nimmo said he wasn't. This is my
He's
whole
not.
point.
Yeah, he said
He's
like
not because he signed a contract, doesn't want to get hurt, and I do respect that.
Yeah, of course.
because I feel like it'd be one thing if like the World Baseball Classic was at the end of the season, and then it was like, okay, if you get hurt, you have like 5 months or so to recuperate. But
Right.
because it's right before the season starts, yeah, it's risky, and I don't know if it's worth. I don't know. I wouldn't want somebody who we just signed to a big deal going in. Although Jeff McNeil, go ahead, honey. I'm rooting for you. But like, I kind of get that. I respect Brandon Nimmo's decision.
My stomach's going crazy. So I put up a poll on the 15th, which is I don't know how many days ago, but it said, would
What
you
day is it?
prefer more Mets players to skip the World Baseball Classic like Limo did? He said it wasn't worth the risk, like we just said, about his commitment as with the team and his new contract. And over 4,000 people voted, and 70% of the people voted yes, that they wish more Mets would have opted out to obviously concentrate more on the Mets rather than
Yeah.
the World Baseball Classic. But I have to point out this tweet because I texted Richie last night.
Mhm.
I don't know if this guy at Zay97 follows the 7 line, but we're about to show his
Okay.
his Twitter account here for a second. Hold on.
All right.
He basically echoed the same thing Richie said, and I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Because,
I totally get Richie's point, by the way.
yeah, and this is exactly what. Damn.
He
Hopefully I can
tweets a
find
lot.
it. Yeah, he tweets a lot. I just want to. I should have had this ready. Sorry.
No, that's first show of the season, baby.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce names. Can't find the tweet. MidSeason Form. What was the ballpark? Maimonides?
Maimonides. We finally got that. Okay, here we go. So this is basically what Richie was saying, and this fan at Zay97 says the same thing on Twitter. I'll read it to you if you're listening afterwards, but you should watch because we're a visual show. Playing in the World Baseball Classic is an honor for us Latinos to wear our flag and play for our country means the world. Happy many of the Mets are showing their passion and risking it all for their homeland. So that's basically what Richard was saying. And it's like, I don't really relate to that. But I totally get it. So.
I totally get it. I respect it. I if anybody gets mad at a player because they end up getting hurt, it's like, oh, you should have been playing in the World Baseball Classic. That's excessive. I would be disappointed, but it's like, but that makes sense to me.
Listen,
it's a different experience.
Richie said this as well. He's like, listen, they might not ever admit it to like the beat, but a lot of these guys care more about winning the World Baseball Classic than the World Series.
Yeah.
So if we have Diaz, who also just signed a big contract out there, closing games, and throwing as hard as he can because he wants to win for his country, that doesn't help the Mets at all.
I know.
And that makes me very nervous.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it should make everyone
nervous.
I
haven't given this much thought, but I don't know. That makes sense to me, and I understand. That's
because Diaz committed to this like months ago.
I know.
Last summer.
And also, he signed his contract like the second the season ended. So
I mean, honestly, if I'm Steve Cohen, I'm like, listen, we'll give you this big contract, but you can't play in the World. Like you throw for the Mets.
Can you legally say that?
Why not? You can do whatever you want.
I guess.
You can't ride dirt bikes if you're a baseball player.
That's why you're not.
Or me either, because there's no more track on Long Island, unfortunately.
Let's segue into that.
No, it's not a big deal.
Back to Clark
These
Kent.
people don't care about that. So, and yeah, there's no more dirt bike track. Anyway, we teased this a little bit on Instagram, and I'm going to talk about it again right now. I'll try to give the condensed version because this is only an hour-long show, but back in the day, we worked with a company called Knockaround out in California on some custom sunglasses.
These were the best.
And unfortunately for us, but their life goes on. They don't have an MLB contract. So now that we signed our deal in 2014, we had to stop working with them to sell stuff. Because if you haven't seen, anything that's branded needs to go through an official retailer. So unfortunately, we can't make these sunglasses anymore. But about 2 weeks ago, I got a text from Lizzie. She said, hey, look what just came in the mail, a box of Knockaround sunglasses. And the note said something like, hey, we were doing inventory or cleaning our warehouse and came across these, thought you'd like them. I thought it was gonna be like 10 sunglasses. Yeah. There's just under 200 sunglasses here that we can't sell.
Right.
So
giveaway.
What we're going to do is give these away. There's 3 different versions. There's an orange side, which is kind of like opaque, and then a solid blue front. I know you can't really see it here. The second one we call the Shea Bridge.
I love
speckled
these.
Orange and blue to resemble the Shea Bridge. And then the third one is the pinstripe, which goes excellent with Julia's new sneakers or, our shorts.
Sorry, no, that didn't help.
So what we're going to do starting tomorrow, because you have to remember, these are probably worth like $30 each and we can't sell them, is shop for anything on the Seven Lines website tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. and you'll get them for free if your order is $50 or more. So I understand people are like, $50 only worth $30. I get it, but there's only 200 of them or a little less than 200 of them, and we're never making these again.
So you're a business, baby.
Are valuable, and we have some stock to clear before we get to opening day. So spend 50 or more starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. So, maybe you got something on your mind. You want to pick up some sneakers, right, a new flag,
and do it timely,
a sweatshirt,
because
whatever.
Only the first 200 or so.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they're not going to know if they're the first 200 because it's not a product that we can actually make a listing for.
Okay, so you have to give the disclaimer. It's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, and you could also in the comments you can request like, hey, I want the pinstripe or I want the Shea Bridge, and we will try to honor your request. But tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m., I'll send an email out a little bit later today and let the rest of the people know, but you guys know first. So I got something from Amelia. This isn't on our show sheet. I got a Christmas present in my stocking. There's, I guess it's like a little sales fair, whatever they call it at school.
Yes, it's where you
can
shop
holidays.
for your holiday. For your
you
family.
bring in, a couple bucks and you can pick out some stuff. So
I would get the worst crap for my family at those things.
The favorite team pack. It's all baseball cards. So there's 12 different trading cards, and I thought it'd be like one era, and it's not.
Really?
There's cards in here from the 80s all the way up until today. So what I'm going to do
is cool.
Very cool. I'm not going to rattle them all off because I'm going to do something really quickly with you. If we could do this really quick, where I'm going to give you some clues. I'm going to put on my glasses. I'm getting old.
Don't do this to me. I'm not going to get them.
It's fine.
I'm not going to get them.
But it's okay. It's not like I am putting you on the spot.
You are, but I'm not going to get them. Full disclosure. I'm not good at this game.
I'm going to give some clues out. And then
can we do this the opposite?
We will see if you get the answer first or if someone in the comments gets it first.
Fact checkers, this one is all you.
Because if someone in the comments gets it before you, I should have got the bell. I'll mail them something.
I'm not getting any.
Or give them something.
Get
for
ready
free.
to win some things.
So don't look at the cards.
Okay.
I'm gonna just give you a random Mets player from the past.
It's a Mets player.
Of course.
Okay.
And you have to guess who it is. So this Mets player played second base, but I think also other infield positions for the Mets. And I will give you the era, like the late 2000s. So like anytime between 2007 and on.
Okay.
His first year as Met was 2007. How about that?
Okay.
Before that, he played for the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, the Devil Rays, the Tigers, and the Angels. So he had a very long career. He got to the Mets in 2007, played infield, and wore the before I say the number, he bats right, throws right. He's 5'11", 190, and played infield. His number was 3. Do you know who that may be?
3.
Number 3, first year was 2007 for the Mets.
How long was he with the Mets?
3,
Do I get that?
I don't know because this card came out in 2007.
Did he finish his career with the Mets?
Probably because he got here so late.
Okay. I'm not gonna.
And if no one gets to it, we're gonna move on really quick from this segment because if people are listening to this afterwards,
I was 11.
This is the most boring shit they've ever heard. Someone got it.
Okay,
so
thank God.
Daniel Redmond on YouTube. Damian Easley, Easy E. There you go. Look at that card.
There's a Damian Easley baseball card that's circulating.
People started getting it after I.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody out there got it.
And it didn't have to have anything to do with spelling because if I had to spell Damian Easley, I probably wouldn't know how to do that.
Damion. And I don't just know that because it's right in front of me. I did know the spelling.
Do you know it backwards though? Damion. You're right.
Noimad.
So Daniel Redmond, I'll hit you up. I don't care about the spelling, and I will mail you something. So I've been battling a cough. I'm not sick. I just had a cough.
Shocker.
I was out of nowhere a couple weeks ago. I was losing my voice. Nowhere. I wasn't sick. I was losing my voice. I don't know why.
You're getting ready for the show.
Yeah, I know, right? So Damian Easley would not be on the show. Anthony DeGrom is going to check in from spring training
so glad
in a little
we're done
bit.
with that.
And Julia is happy to be
sweating
with this little segment that I really sprung on her. So DeGrom, who we love, who now we call him Tony, right?
That's our good friend Tony.
We're good friends with Tony now. He's going to check in from spring training, give us the ins and outs of what we're missing out on. I will be there tomorrow, and tomorrow night we're going to be at Hop Light.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't pack yet or anything, but I'm leaving tomorrow.
Awesome.
What do you really need? 2 days.
It's true.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Lucy. Bring him that shirt.
Yeah. We don't even need to. They're giving us the jerseys on Saturday.
Right.
And it's a night game. Have you been to a night game at spring training before?
No.
I love it.
Never.
It's so great.
What a vibe that must be.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I mean, you're expecting, sun and rum buckets, and then you're kind of just hanging out at a night game in Florida, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Tomorrow morning, they're doing afternoon, they're doing the inter-squad game.
Okay.
When they play against each other.
Fun.
And if you remember last year, remember the photos of like Alex Cohen giving out like free beer at the entrance?
Yes.
That was so sick. So
sick.
I'm expecting something fun will happen. I think it's like $10 to get in. And then they give you, I think, well, at least last year they gave you free stuff, but that may have been a special thing because the year before that, spring training was, could you go? You could go, but it was the pod seating.
Yeah.
Last year was a late start for the lockout.
Yeah.
And then this year's like, back to normal.
You're right. This is like the first, knock on wood, barring any sudden pandemics, the normal spring training.
Yeah, it's been a bit. But if you remember the 2020, I haven't been there since 2020.
It started normal and then it was cut short.
Yeah, they did have the normal start. And then somewhere in the middle, they're like, all right, everyone go home when when the shit hit the fan.
What
so DeGrom here on Twitter. This is the announcement about tomorrow at Clover Park, 1:10. And the proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County. So not only do you get in, watch a little baseball, and donate money to a good cause down there. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
So I always feel weird about when you see the videos. Like one came out today of Escobar batting against Max Scherzer.
Uh-huh.
So like when you're at the game, if that happens tomorrow, and Joey Lucchesi is pitching tomorrow, but let's say, I don't know, Jeff McNeil hits a home run off Lucchesi. Are you excited for McNeil? Because like, oh wow, he looks good this year. Like, or you'd be like, fuck, Lucchesi's, still struggling.
I think it depends. In that instance, I feel like you have to be excited for Jeff McNeil because you just signed Jeff McNeil to a contract. It's like, good. The guy we just paid money to is doing well.
Oh, and I wrote down on my notes here, Jeff McNeil did not get his car yet.
I know.
From Lindor.
That's kind of bullshit. I'm sorry, Lindor. I love you, but pay up.
Yeah, right.
You said it. You have the money. Give him his car.
and the Lindors are expecting another little one.
Oh yes, congratulations
Congrats
to them.
And yeah, so if you don't know, last year Lindor said to McNeil, if he wins the batting title, which is like, you know,
It wasn't a lock, by the way.
No.
Like, it was very much like, you know, if you do it,
came down to like the last week,
yeah,
the last day.
Yeah.
So he won, and he didn't get his car.
Give him his car.
But guess who bought themselves a new car?
Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love it.
Love that for him. Because what was he driving before? It was like some peasant car.
I wouldn't say
and
that.
by peasant, I mean like a car I would drive.
I think it's like a Camry, but it's like the first car he ever got or
Yeah.
something, and he's been shipping it around the country. Like he gets, I mean, a lot of the guys, they do that. They
Yeah.
put their cars on flatbeds and bring them down to spring training.
Right.
Where's this cough coming
I
from
don't
again?
know.
Oh, you know what? Where is it?
I don't know. Why are you rubbing your legs?
I got a haircut today. Oh, yes. And guess what?
I don't know.
I love the little bowl. This is for kids. When you get your haircut at the barbershop and there's a little bowl of lollipops there.
I had no idea where that was going.
I think this is not my favorite. It is butterscotch.
Ugh.
The butterscotch wrapper and the root beer wrapper look the same. So maybe this will help.
This will be great.
Great audio.
Sound great in your microphone.
Great audio. Great audio. So yeah, I have no idea what's going to be going on as far as the free beverages are concerned tomorrow. But the Mets have been doing a phenomenal job this offseason with the Queens. What's it called? Queens Future? Queens Future. Where is it?
I don't
have
know
it
the
written
official title, but I know what you're talking about.
QueensFuture.com. So they've been crowdsourcing different, basically focus groups of people to come into either Citi Field, or we went to one recently. You didn't go, but
Yeah, I can go.
at the Queens Museum, where they're basically trying to get as much feedback as they possibly can get from Mets fans and locals meaning residents of the Flushing and surrounding areas,
Right.
to see what they could possibly do with the amount of space that's outside Citi Field. Because you've been around the block, I've been around the block, we've been all over the place. Citi Field is not a destination for
No.
anything but the game.
Right.
So when you leave the game or you get there early, there's nothing to do.
No.
There's nothing to see. But it's just a rare instance because the airport's right there, the water's right there, the marina's right there.
It should be.
It could be
so nice.
It could be so sick.
Yeah.
And it probably will be very soon.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to get the most out of what they can with the fans,
Right.
and with the people.
Making sure they're doing something people actually want, which I very much respect, instead of just going for, you know, whatever it is they want to do, whatever they think it's going to be profitable. They're doing what people want. And that's.
Yeah. So if you go to queensfuture.com, you could check out it says Queens is the future. You scroll down and you can see like the whole map over here. And it says, we deserve better than 50 acres of asphalt, which
Love
is
that.
completely true. Because if you look at, I mean, if you haven't, obviously, if you're watching the show, you've probably been to Citi Field, but the proximity of it being like basically a waterfront ballpark, and you would never really think about
You
that.
would never know.
No.
Yeah.
There's highways in the way and stuff like that. But
Right.
so they invited the 7-Line Army to one a couple weeks ago, like I just said, at the Queens Museum. And it's really cool because you walk in and it basically shows you like a timeline of what the area used to be, what it turned into. And then they gave you little stickers and it said like, what do you think is the most important personally for the future of the area? And it's like bringing in local business or more jobs or whatever. And they basically tell you like, pick off this out of this board and put the sticker where you feel is the most important.
Okay.
So basically trying to like pull the audience basically, and then come up with the best possible plan. So each table we had to come up with ideas and write them down on a sheet. And then one person from the table had to like give the presentation.
Oh God, I wish I was there.
It was great. It was great.
Who presented for your table?
Our table. I never met them. Like I met him a couple of times, but he's like relatively new
Oh,
member.
people you didn't know. Okay.
It was great.
Okay.
It was a great time. But Wayne, you know Wayne.
Love Wayne.
Wayne
if you're watching.
Wayne
Hey now.
presented for his table, and it was based a stand-up comedy routine. It was awesome. He did so good. Where I wish we were recording it.
I wish I saw
there were
that.
cameras there. We didn't really make a big deal of it. I didn't
Yeah.
tweet about it. I wasn't sure if we were even supposed to.
I would literally just like, oh, I forgot that you even did that until you mentioned it.
It was excellent. And people brought up their concerns, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they liked from other ballparks. But Wayne did so good. And then whoever went after him was like, fuck, I gotta follow that. It was great.
Good job, Wayne.
So if any of you guys went to any of those focus groups, sound off in the comments and we'll try to read through them later. But we do this and we haven't done it yet. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll highlight some of you guys
Oh yeah.
on the screen here. Hopefully the border that I put around that's like a tops border
guys, new graphics.
doesn't really
What do we think?
it doesn't really affect the way that the comments come up. So let's see. Brian Hellman. Oh no, look, it goes right over it. Brian Hellman's checking in from New Hampshire. Eddie is watching from work. We got Scott watching from Beverly, New Jersey. You know there was a tornado in New Jersey a couple of days ago?
What?
Tornado. Jersey. The world is coming to an end.
That's insane.
We got Brooklyn. We got Newton, New Jersey. Boynton Beach, Florida. Hopefully you're coming up to spring training this weekend. So yeah, people are watching from all over. So we appreciate your views and your listens afterwards. So you and I have talked about this for the past couple of years. Just didn't really happen yet because shit happens and life changes. But Orange and Blue thing, I love doing it. I love having a once a week hangout, whether it's well, I'm not in weather because it always is here. But I think that what we're gonna start doing is you and I will go to Citi Field, talk to people, do some kind of content there where it's not always going to be in studio live show because so much of what being a Mets fan's about, and especially the Seven Lines about, is like getting out there, hanging out with people, doing things as a group. So we love this little recap that we do each week, but we're going to try to come up with some ideas where we can come up with some content where we maybe just like go to the ballpark and do some kind of stuff there,
talk to people,
and use that as our weekly Orange and Blue thing.
Well, that was, like I told you, that was my original idea for Big Apple Trivia throwback. I can't believe that was almost 3 years ago now. That's fucking wild. But anyway, but my original idea for it before pandemic times took over our lives was for it to be an in-person thing at the ballpark, just going up to random fans, asking them trivia questions, making them sweat like you just did to me. Which, by the way, never mind, I'm not even going to say that. But I remember in Big Apple Trivia, there was a Damian Easley trivia question,
really?
Which was if anybody remembers the Endy Chavez walk-off bunt game. He hit the pinch hit home run to tie.
Look at this.
It into tie. So I knew who Damian Easley was, did not know based on his baseball card. But anyway.
But you remembered that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that would be really fun and interactive. And it's something that, if you don't necessarily care about the fact that I've had a very small career change, or that Darren's upset that he can't ride dirt bikes anymore, it's something that you can watch. It's Mets related at any time, and it's still hopefully interesting. So I think that'll be fun.
Of course it'll be interesting. Yeah. So what else is interesting is our relationship with TickPick.
Love TickPick.
And you were talking about how much issue you were having with Taylor Swift tickets?
Yeah. Although TickPick, they're doing everything they can to help Swifties, and I have to hand it to them. There was a special promo code specifically for Taylor Swift tickets to help you get money off of them. They have the price.
You said the price a second ago, how much you were going to pay or did pay, or
it's not my choice. The Taylor Swift tickets are going for anywhere from like $750 is like, you're lucky. They're more like $900.
When is this tour starting?
It's here, Lizzie's screaming from the back. That's insane. It starts in March, I believe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just checked it out.
It starts like next month.
Taylor Swift tickets on TickPick right now, who you should absolutely use because you're going to find the best deals there than anywhere else. But they're $862.
I told you.
The cheapest ticket.
That's the cheapest ticket. And this is not TickPick's fault. You're not going to find them cheaper
anywhere else. And the next day is over $1,000.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Taylor did not come to play.
And you know what I was saying to you, it's crazy you'd spend that much money to watch someone lip sync.
I'm not even going to entertain that comment. I will not feed the trolls. Just go on with our TickPick spiel.
Well, TickPick is the best. We've been using them for years, and they're back on board this year doing the promo code for you guys. So use the code OABT to take $10 off any order over $99 in the app for a first-time user.
Lord knows I will be using that for my Taylor Swift tickets.
$10 off for Taylor Swift ticket. But I use TickPick all off season. Yeah. So like Knicks games, Islanders games, obviously Taylor Swift tickets.
I got
whatever.
my boyfriend concert tickets for Christmas on TickPick.
Humble brag, got a boyfriend. Congrats.
It's the same one as last year. It's not new. It's just a boyfriend.
Do you notice like when you have a boyfriend or don't have a boyfriend, like, or you announce that you have a boyfriend when you are a single woman, that people like random people like unfollow you?
I'm not kidding. When I first posted my picture with my boyfriend, when we first started dating, I lost on Instagram like 100 followers.
No way.
I swear to God.
Like, I'm out.
I'm not even kidding. As if like, that's why I wouldn't date you. Is because I'm taken. But whatever. It's each their own. Thanks for following for some time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a strange experience being a woman on the internet.
Well, it's back to TickPick. If you type in like I just did the word Mets, you can scroll down and see all the options here. So it not generalized, but it makes it specific to where you are and what ballpark you're closest to. So it doesn't say, Mets versus Marlins in Miami, although you can search for that as well.
Right.
So opening day, the get-in price is $103 right now. But the cool part about it is when you click it, it gives you a star rating of like the best deals in the ballpark.
Yes.
And we love it. So check out TickPick. Again, use the code OABT for $10 off any order over $99 in the app for first-time users.
And they also, like I said, they have that really cool price freeze feature now where if 103 sounds like a good price, but it's not payday yet, you can freeze the price and go back and pay it when you have the money to do so, and it won't go up. If it goes up, you're still locked in at that price. So we love TickPick. They're always doing what they can to help you get the absolute cheapest price on tickets.
So before we get to Como in here, I want to talk about what's going on tomorrow night. I land, not that you care when I get there, but I land tomorrow at like 4 something.
Okay.
I probably should have told people to get there a little bit later. Not that like I bring the party, but it's the brewery's open no matter what. But I'm going to be like so stressed out if I'm driving there. And I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. I'm not
Everyone's there.
Yeah. So spring training meetup tomorrow night at Hop Life in Port St. Lucie. Goes all night, so it's not like you have to get there at 5. But if you want to get a specific spot at the bar,
you're gonna get there at 5.
I can't get there at 5.
4,
but I'll be fashionably a little bit late. I still have to drop off. I have to get my rental car, drive north, drop my shit off
and
at the
fingers
hotel.
crossed, no delayed flights.
Oh, God, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Every flight I had for my New Zealand trip was delayed, so it is what it is.
So our last time at Hop Life, you probably never even been there, was 2020, and the place was mobbed. It was awesome. So tomorrow night they're gonna have obviously their drink specials along with live music. They brought in a guy or guy or girl, I don't know who runs the company or owns it, but you can throw axes.
Fun!
Which I think is a dangerous idea, but sounds fun. And there's like a cigar guy there. It's going to be great. So
cool.
Total Florida vibe. Opens at 5 o'clock. They have a brand new menu, which I haven't had a chance to partake in yet, but I hear it's phenomenal. And the address is on the sites, but if you're listening after, it is 679 Northwest Enterprise Drive, Suite 101. It's called Hop Life. Just put it into your GPS or tell your Uber driver that's where you're going. Kids are allowed, and I'm sure dogs and stuff are as well.
Great.
It's a brewery, so come on down and hang out. Should be an excellent time. I can't wait to get down there. So I'm also bringing my drone, which I don't know if that's like allowed.
Are you allowed?
I don't know. I'm going to just do it.
Find out.
Because Saturday's a night game, right? So Saturday morning, Kelly and I are going to wake up and drive over towards the beach and have some breakfast. We can't eat anywhere. That's like over there. It's all like seafood and stuff, which we don't eat.
Yeah.
So I found this cool spot. It's like a coffee shop type style place. And they have a lot of options there. So we're going to do that on Saturday, like brunch time.
All right.
But on the way back, I'm going to just basically fire up the drone and see how close I can get to the ballpark. And if anyone's watching this now and you work for the Mets, you don't think that's a good idea,
let them know.
Let me know, because I didn't get any kind of press pass for it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just do it, and then
it doesn't get shot down by the government thinking it's a spy balloon or something.
I have so many. I'm going with 3 different cameras this year. So I brought that Insta360, which is like the 360 thing I've been snowboarding with and everything. And I'm going to bring that. I'm going to bring the drone and my regular camera. Drea's going too, so she's going to shoot the photos on Saturday.
The content's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to capture as much as I can and kind of make you guys jealous that you didn't go, and maybe you'll go next year. But I'm going to – I like flying the drone. Hopefully I don't fly into the, building accidentally. Did I ever tell you what happened at our wedding?
No.
So you're not supposed to fly drones over – oh, there's the noise. 38 minutes.
Wow.
You're not supposed to fly drones, or you can't fly drones over near City Field because of the airport right there. So if you go over a certain amount of feet, you could obviously cause an accident.
Yeah.
But for some reason, some people do get around that somehow. I don't know how they can, but when I turn my drone on and it knows it's a restricted area, it won't even take off.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, at our wedding, they said no drones, and our photographer did it anyway. And I don't know if the signal got jammed or whatever, but we're standing there and they're like, all right, as we fly over, everyone put their hands up, for the edit or whatever. If you didn't know, we got married at City Field on the dugout. And we're standing there and the drone flies over us and we turn around and it just keeps going. It flies directly into the front of the Pepsi porch. The propellers go everywhere onto that warning track. And the guy who's like our wedding planner, I guess, that works for Metropolitan Hospitality, you see him instantly like get something. He had like a headpiece go in his ear. He's like, oh, like he started running to the outfield to clean up the propellers. It was a mess.
This was, I guess, right after the ceremony. During the ceremony, not
probably
during the ceremony.
Probably right after,
Oh my
because
God.
I didn't see Kelly until like the reveal and all that.
Right.
So it was after it. I guess I'm gonna say the fans, our guests. the fans of our wedding walked up the stairs, and then we did our photos. They also said like, oh, I just spit. Don't run on the field. We did it anyway.
Love it.
Basically, they said like everything they said don't do. Like, well,
why not?
We already got married.
We're paying for it.
What are they gonna do? Kick us out?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I got that for free. By the way, I got 0 break, 0 deal, 0 discount.
No
on my
one
wedding.
gets that kind of shit
No
for
break.
free.
No break. Everything's full price.
Yeah.
I pay for my tickets to go to games.
Yeah.
People think I get them for free. It's, whatever. It is what it is. I do get sometimes these nice little press passes though. That's why
I love your picture in the press pass.
That's me right here.
It's you.
Here.
Literally showing that you're pressed with a microphone to your face.
It's a screenshot from me being on Orange and Blue thing. I was like, well, you have to upload a photo when you apply for credentials. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Stand there, drinking a beer?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll stand in front of this microphone. What's the difference?
So good.
So yeah, the wedding was fun. So we're waiting for DeGrom to come on. He told me yesterday, I'm not seeing a link in the email. Okay, let me just send
Our
it.
good friend Tony's stuck.
Tony.
Gotta help him out.
I'll just send it to him on Twitter. Hold on a second. Hey, this is where I say to Julia.
No, I hate this part.
Fill some time for a second for me.
God, I gotta talk. What are we talking about?
I do also have.
Oh, I know what I can talk
Go
about.
ahead.
Okay, I had this idea, and you guys let me know if you think it's a good one. Darren, for whatever reason, thought this was too much work, and I don't even know.
It sounded like a
how.
lot of work to me.
It doesn't even. Well, we're gonna have to come up with this. But so my idea, I thought it would be fun, is if we came up with like 5 random categories of like most RBIs, most stolen bases, final record, whatever. We'll each guess like our prediction for the season, and we don't know what the winner or what the loser will get. So we'll have you guys, the fact checkers. What do you think the winner of these little bets should get? It's the end of the season. It's
But
all
I was
season
confused.
long.
Is it us picking or they're picking?
It's us picking.
Okay, I thought we had to like go through all these fucking comments.
No, it's just you and me.
I got it.
We can't have the same answer. That's
Okay.
the thing. We'll do an odd number of categories, so like 5, 7, 9, or whatever, so there can't be any ties.
Okay.
Whoever has the most closest answers.
I was reading this from you, and I was expecting, Julia, that you wanted me to like go back to the comments and go through Nick and Rebecca and Brian and be like, they say Alonso's gonna get the most home runs.
No, what we're reading through is what they think the winner should get or the loser should get, and we will pick what we think the best one is, and then next week we'll announce what it is. But anyway, our good friend Tony.
Without further ado, Tony is checking in straight from Port St. Lucie in the stands. And before we go any further, who's gonna hit the most home runs for the Mets this year, Tony?
Am I allowed to say anyone other than Pete Alonso?
I mean,
like a bad bet.
I didn't even say home runs because the answer is obviously Pete Alonso. So that's good. Tony can give us Pete Alonso.
Well, it's not going to be Darren Ruff. You're not saying Darren Ruff.
What if I say Francisco Alvarez? What would you say?
Ooh, I'd say I love that. And I hope you're right.
We'll see how many games he's in,
Exactly.
So listen, we were talking about it a little bit ago. Last year was obviously the late start because of the lockout. The year before that was obviously a lot of the social distancing and the pod seating in the outfield and all that. And then the year before that, spring training got cut short. So you've been on the beat for how many years now?
Ooh, this is I started in 2010 on the beat, so this is 14 seasons.
No way.
That's crazy.
I know.
So how's it been? Like, does it feel like
it feels normal.
Back to normal,
yeah.
or?
Yeah, if you ask Buck that, he says it's not normal. We got all these WBC guys leaving, but truthfully, it does feel normal. Like as reporters, we have normal clubhouse access again. We have normal roaming around the facilities again, and that's where you find stories and things like that. So it does feel normal, which is a very good thing. It was weird the past couple of years, even last year, which you felt like we were mostly through this thing. It was still weird coming to spring training. We don't even have to wear masks in the clubhouse anymore, which is great for facilitating conversations and all that. So it's normal. I love it. It's good. Everything is good.
So we hear pretty much every year, either it's from the beat or from players themselves. They say, "Oh, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life."
I was just gonna say, tell us who is in the best shape of their life.
I would say Pete Alonso.
Wow,
has definitely dropped some lbs. He looks great. Tyler McGill has shed some weight. He looks good. Everyone has seen the Daniel Vogelbach Instagram photo seen around the world.
I don't like that. I almost don't like that. I want Vogelbach.
His brand.
Yeah, I want Vogelbach to be like the bigger guy who like kind of embraces your slugging beers with a backwards hat in the clubhouse and all that.
He could still be that guy.
I totally get it. And to a certain extent, same with Alonso, but he feels fit and looks good. I think the biggest one for me is McGill. He definitely looks like he has trimmed down a bit. And, that could be a huge piece. I think people almost forget about Tyler McGill because it's really, you have to go back to the first half of last year from when he was a significant contributor. But that's still a lot of talent right there. That's still a big presence on the mound. Probably not going to be in the opening day rotation, but he could potentially be the first or second guy up if something happens. And that's going to be a big piece for the Mets if he's in good shape.
Which is crazy because he started opening day last year.
I know. It's the answer to a trivia question. We remember now. 6 years from now, it's going to be at the bar trivia question. Nobody's going to remember that.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, we were talking about, we haven't talked about it today, but like Bartolo Colon starting the opening day in 2015 in DC. We've had other years where John East was the opening day starter.
They had something crazy. I would have to look up the exact stat, but they had like 7 or 8 years in a row where it was a different opening day
it was
starter every
non-consecutive.
Single year, which that just doesn't happen.
But guess what? We,
over.
For the most part, we win them all though. So that's the best.
I know.
The best stat.
Right.
I don't know how that happens.
So let me ask you, we've been seeing, I got roasted on the internet because I wasn't trying to make a comparison between the two players on paper. I was just saying that Escobar, when Correa was an afterthought, and Correa, obviously we know what happened there, but when you compare,
do we actually know what
that he's
happened there?
not on the Mets is what I mean. I wrote something about, Escobar's numbers and I think we have a very capable guy of playing third base. It's not like we're sticking a rookie out there who can't contribute, but I loved last year when Beatty made his first career start, and the first guy at the top step clapping and cheering him on was Escobar. And we see a couple days ago Escobar and him working together at third base. So do you almost kind of see Escobar, like, granted this is like his 11th season as a major leaguer now, is he almost like a player coach at this point? Like, is he taking him under his wing more than you'd expect?
I wouldn't say more than I'd expect, only because I've known Eduardo Escobar for a year now, and I know what kind of guy he is. I mean, you're talking not just like best in that clubhouse. This is one of the all-time clubhouse guys. He's beloved throughout baseball. He's also very self-aware about his own place. He's a guy who was not a prospect coming out of Venezuela when he was young. He truly does appreciate all of his time in the majors, and he also understands his place within the greater context of this stuff. So he knows that Brett Beatty is the future here at third base, and if it's not, it could have been Carlos Correa. It's not. Brett Beatty, as we stand here right now, is the future at third base for the Mets. Eduardo Escobar probably understands. I haven't asked him this, but he probably understands that no matter what happens this year, there's a decent chance he won't be here next year. He's on the final year of that deal. So, yeah, there's not really incentive for a guy like that to ice out a rookie, especially a promising young rookie like Beatty. And frankly speaking, there's room for both to make huge contributions to this team. If Beatty's not there on opening day, I don't necessarily expect Beatty to be there on opening day. But if he's not, he's going to play a role for this team. Escobar is going to play a role for this team. And, you mentioned last year, I mean, what he did in September,
if
great. Not for Eduardo Escobar, what was ugly down the stretch could have been a lot uglier. So he's still a big piece of this. And, I think it's good to see that he's kind of taken Beatty a little bit under his wing.
So Escobar is one of the guys that's going to the WBC, right?
Yep.
We talked about this a little bit ago before you were on, and I don't have a strong connection to the WBC. I don't really care about it that much. But one of my buddies who is from Colombia, I hope I said that right, Colombia. I know Colombia.
Colombian.
Colombia.
Don't overthink it there. Don't overthink it.
He was saying that a lot of players, that maybe if they won't admit it to you guys or not, that winning the WBC or playing strong in the WBC is more important than the Mets, let's say, winning the World Series. And do you think that might be a true statement or no?
I wouldn't go that far, but I do think the WBC is very meaningful and very impactful to a lot of guys. And Eduardo Escobar is kind of the perfect example. He wasn't invited in 2017, the last time they played. Venezuela's always got a stacked lineup. He wasn't invited to be a part of it. He was invited this time, and as kind of one of the elder statesmen of guys from that country, I was talking to him about this last week. He's very thankful, and he's very not taking this for granted, this opportunity to kind of go and do it. And I think a lot of guys feel that way. I think there's a lot of guys who can't participate in these tournaments, whether it's because of injury, whether it's because of their position at camp. For example, I was talking to Mark Vientos today. He really wanted to play to Nicaragua. That was the team. His mother's side of the family is from Nicaragua. His dad's side is from the Dominican. Obviously, he grew up in Florida. So he's eligible for 3 teams. Nicaragua was the one that would have him this time. He really wanted to do it, but then he took a step back and said, you know what, I'm fighting for something here. I'm at the beginning of my career. If things go the way that I want them to, I'm going to have my pick of teams
right
4 years from now when we play it again. So I think there's a lot of that goes on throughout the game. guys who want to participate, guys who want to play a role, guys who are feeling patriotic about it and can't participate. So when they do, yeah, it is meaningful.
It makes me so nervous, though. It makes me so nervous to see,
Of course.
There's a lot of Mets.
We'll be
going
watching
this
from the couch, and Diaz, who has openly said how important this is to him as well, going out there throwing gas next month when it's not even really our season yet. It's going to make me so freaking nervous.
Yeah,
so
for sure. But to answer your question, I don't think there's very many, if any, players, at least major league players who are in this thing who say, I would rather win the WBC than the World Series. Now, I'm sure there are guys from other teams, especially from some of these countries that aren't expected to do as well. This is their World Series.
Right.
If you're playing for one of these lesser teams, this is your shot to go up against the best. So it's cool. But for high-profile big leagues, a guy like Eduardo Escobar, I think a World Series would be more meaningful.
Yeah, totally.
So we saw you guys messing around the other day, you and Gelbs.
Yeah, Tony, you and Gelbs, you've been hitting up any karaoke bars lately, or what?
I would love to. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a quick Steve Gelbs thing. We went out on the golf course yesterday, and he's been. I've gone golfing from time to time down here over the years, and Gelbs has never wanted to come, and he just caught winds a few days ago that those of us who go are not actually good golfers. For some reason, he thought we were all scratch golfers. Clearly, we're not. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll try and come out too. So Steve comes out, and the first couple holes go as you would expect. He'd really never golfed in his life. First couple holes go as you would expect. He's hitting the ball 15-yard dribblers in front of the tee box. And then we get to hole 5, and he's hitting fairways. He's dropping the ball on the green. What is going on? This guy's a natural. So he goes up to Jeff McNeil today in the clubhouse. Obviously, great golfer. And he says to Jeff, he's bragging to Jeff about how good a golfer he is after playing 11 holes before the sunset yesterday. And Jeff's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. He's like, I shot 2 under yesterday. Okay, wrong guy to talk to.
Oh, we got
There we go.
I would have got Dubada.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
I like Skibada, but I don't think those are the words.
So you guys can go back.
None of them are words.
Twitter,
Gelbs
and you trying to figure out the words to Mbop.
Dubada. Is it?
The backstory to this is
This is
SNY
gonna end up on being
had us come out to the set about 25 minutes early because they were getting the connections right. They wanted to make sure the connections worked and all that, and it works great. So we're out there. We got 20 minutes to kill before we go on air, and I just started singing Hanson. Sometimes that happens, right?
What else is there to do in Port St. Lucie?
Well, what else?
We got into the Sugar Ray. Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray wound up tweeting at us.
No way.
Constantly searching to see if anyone's typing Sugar Ray into Twitter.
That's excellent. Listen, thank you for giving us some of your time. If you're available tomorrow night, hop on over to Hop Life. We're going to be hanging out at the brewery, and awesome. Always appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Tony.
All right, guys. Look forward to seeing you down here.
Have a good one.
You too.
Love it. Tony's the best.
Love Tony.
I don't know if that it really worked out. I've never done it where we have 2 different cameras and pulling up the Twitter at the same time.
We're trying a lot of different graphic things this season. Guys, please give Darren your feedback on the new graphics, the new lighting, because I was getting updates all week. He was so excited about it. So please let him know your thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
I think it looks wonderful.
Very excited.
A lot of hard work went into it.
So I am going to talk again really quickly about the opening day tailgate, because we haven't touched on that yet for not spring training, for Miami next month, which is going to come really quickly. So if you are going to the game, we are shipping out the tickets about 2 weeks before the game, and I'm going to show off the T-shirt, I guess, after this weekend, because one outing at a time, right? So let's get through this weekend first, and then we'll show off what's going on for Miami. But we are going to be out in this lot called East Lot 3, and if you've ever been down to Miami before and been to that area, it's actually called Little Havana. They don't typically tailgate there, so we got porta potties, going to be a men's, a women's, and an accessible one. We're taking over the entire lot. The game starts at 4, I think. When you get there around 11, got a whole bunch of volunteers who are going to help bring some stuff out. So it's going to be an excellent time. Go to the7line.com, check that out, and get in the opening day mood. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
jealous. I almost ended up going to this.
I can tell you the shirt is not blue or orange.
Yes.
And you'll see what it is after this weekend. So again,
new graphics.
Share the show to be in the running for the free gift cards from the 7 Line. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., we have the sunglasses going up. If you spend $50 or more, you cannot buy the sunglasses, but you will be getting them for free in your order.
Gotta be one of the first, so get there on time.
I wrote this in the show little intro here, not the intro, the show like description.
Bio.
The Mets have a gigantic dilemma on their hands for June.
Wow.
I don't know if you've heard about this.
I haven't.
I think it could be the biggest dilemma that the Mets have had in a very long time.
Okay.
Saturday, June 3rd.
Uh-huh.
Does that ring a bell to you? What's going on Saturday, June 3rd?
Is there a ceremony of some sort?
There is a ceremony. So Harry Rose, Gary
Yes,
Cohen,
yes.
Al Leiter, and Hojo are being inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame.
Right.
Giant dilemma. Who's going to MC it?
Ooh, that's so true.
How does Howie Rose induct himself into the Mets Hall of Fame?
Is this Gelb's big break?
I don't know. I mean, he's got many big breaks before,
I was
but
going to say, but the big break.
I think this is going to be like the biggest dilemma of the offseason.
That's so true. I think it's going to be Gelb.
You
no?
give someone that mic, and I'm not fucking around. Like,
Or-
granted, I am being a little,
dramatic.
dramatic here, but it is a
No, it's a
big,
big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, because those are also it's who is announcing the announcers into the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
But that's
Howie
what I'm
Rose
saying.
has been
That's
like the master of ceremonies.
and that's what I'm saying.
for
That's
many
why
years.
it's such a big deal. It's
Right.
because that person is now getting inducted, so it needs to be someone who can do them justice. Maybe Howie and Gary will get to pick.
Well,
or just
someone
Howie, really.
I wrote about this on the internet, and I'm honest. I'm dead serious about this. Maybe I ask Howie himself. Does Howie induct Gary and Gary inducts Howie? How does that work?
Ooh,
But
that would be. Who else did you say was getting inducted?
Gary, Howie, Al Leiter,
Al Leiter.
and Hojo.
Oh, and Hojo.
So I don't
Huh.
know. But you give someone else that mic, and they're like the master of ceremonies for the day. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be Wayne Randazzo because he is in
R.I.P.
Anaheim.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Jake Eisenberg, who now works for
No,
Kansas
but we're
City
so
Royals.
happy for him.
Yeah, Jake, props to you. Happy for you. I had to unfollow you on the internet, but
Did
you know,
you?
it is what it is. Yeah.
Aw, rude.
I think I may have also unfollowed Wayne. No offense to Wayne, but I don't want to see like the
yeah.
A's lineup.
It's content you don't care about.
Maybe I could mute them,
Yeah.
like no hard feelings type shit. But it is what it is. All right, guys, listen, we got to keep the show under an hour. We appreciate you guys checking in each week, and we will be back next week. We haven't even decided a day yet, but I guess
Tuesdays at 1. would
Tuesdays
be
at 1.
Perfect for me.
next week, Tuesday, 1:00, we'll talk about the weekend.
Yes.
And I'm sure some new shit will pop up throughout the week.
Of
So
course.
I glanced over this. I don't know if I talked about it, but congrats to Andrew and Amanda.
Yes.
They have a little boy coming.
Little butt in the oven.
So the general,
Baby and dark.
the general has strong swimmers. And congrats to the Andrew and Amanda. What?
I know.
That's not ill. It's the thing you say. Strong
Andrew,
swimmers.
it's ill.
Congrats to them. And we figured it out. I forgot though. There's something under general. It might be like lieutenant or corporal or something. So like little baby, you got to get a
Okay.
jersey.
All right, we'll make the little onesie.
Yeah,
we'll
little
figure it out.
onesie or jersey or something. So see you guys next week. Happy to be back and
Where's
share
your
the show.
soundboard?
I don't have a soundboard anymore, but we do
Oh.
have phenomenal lighting.
The lighting is great. When we lost in sound, we made up for it in light.
Absolutely. All right, guys, listen, tomorrow night, Hop Life, see you there. Saturday night game. Show up early. There was an email that went out with all the details about picking up your jersey. We do get early access to the ballpark before anyone else, which is a great perk for the Seven Line Army.
Uh-huh.
Get in there early, grab a rum bucket if you want, hang it on the berm. We also have the seats down the right field line this year. So we got a lot going on. So
Fun.
anything you need to know, reach out. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Let's go, Mets. Enjoy your weekend and see you next week.
Put it in the books.
Skeet it up.
Skip it up.
Oh, my God. All right. Later, guys.